Hi, Katrina here with Agewell Senior Fitness, and today we're going to be talking about using balance foam for balance activities. I like the Airex balance foam. It's a little more expensive, but the consistency of it, I feel it just is more challenging for the client working on their balance. I've tried some of the less expensive models, different brands, and I felt like it was a waste of my money. I ended up investing in the $50 Airex balance foam. I've even bought one for my dad for him to use at home, and it's what I recommend to my clients because the give on the foam provides more of a balance challenge. So I use the Airex balance foam. I love this piece of equipment because it can mimic people trying to keep their balance on uneven surfaces such as grass and maybe out in the community where the sidewalk is uneven. So it works on that proprioceptive input in the feet and legs to try to keep your balance on uneven surfaces. You notice I don't have any shoes on. I do like to go barefoot on these because it brings in more of the proprioceptive feel for it. Make sure you clean it well. And it's lightweight. It's easy for me to put in my car because I do in-home personal training. And for some people, simply standing on the balance foam is a challenge, especially your clients that may be using an assistive device, a walker, especially just getting up on the foam and standing on it is a challenge. I have people, they take their hands off the counter and they go backwards immediately. So sometimes just standing on the foam is enough of a challenge. Some activities you can do on the foam. The easiest is with a wide base of support, and if that is too easy for them and they're no problem, then of course you narrow the base of support to make it more difficult. Activities I do on the balance foam, I like to do head turns to work the vestibular system. So make sure that when you're doing head turns that you give them objects to look at. So have them look to the left, look at a picture on the wall, look to the right, look at the light on the wall, and then they can go left, right. Also have them look up and down. This is the one that tends to get people, especially the up. Have them look up at the ceiling and then down at the floor. Up at the ceiling and down at the floor. Make sure you're standing close by for this one because it throws a lot of people off. And when they're doing head turns, you want to make sure that they're actually turning their head and not just turning their eyes and not turning their head at all. Then your vestibular system isn't working as hard. You want to turn the head so the fluid in the inner ear has to move, and you have to work that system of balance along with your proprioceptive input at the feet. So another activity I like to use is having people stare at a target, and they keep their eyes on the target and they turn their head side to side, okay, and up and down. Also working the vestibular system, fixing their gaze on an object and turning their head. This is an important component of balance. You think about when you're moving and you're looking for something, you're not completely still. If you're walking down the street and you're looking at the street sign down the road, your gaze is fixed on that item and you're moving around, and you have to be able to look at that item, move, and keep your balance at the same time. So this is a good activity as well. Some other activities I do on the balance foam, simple step-ups. A lot of times I'll have them at a counter so that they have something to hold on to, but just having them step up and down, maybe 10 on one leg and then switch and do 10 on the other. So they have to adjust going up, that off balance, that, uneven surface that they're working to keep their balance. It's a little different than just plain step-ups. Another one that I really like to do are lateral step up and over and back. Works the hips, again, pulling in balance and proprioception, stepping up, stepping down, stepping up, and back over. I find a lot of times I have to cue people to take a big enough step because they want to step here and then they don't have any place to put their feet. So it really gives a good hip workout and pulls in systems of balance as well. Other things you can do, work on people standing with their eyes closed. Take away that visual input. Start with the feet wide apart and then work close together. Take away the visual input, so and then you're compromising the proprioceptive input, so then their vestibular system really has to kick in. Another thing I do with balance foam sometimes is that we can do lunges, okay, and even back lunges. I have them stand on the foam, back lunge off, and then back up. Usually start very small for these. My clientele, that, you know, this is a big challenge for them. So this would be an advanced exercise for the type of people that I see. And then you can just do weightlifting activities on the balance foam. You can set of dumbbells, stand on the foam, doing arm curls, you know, shoulder presses, these type of things. If you have a resistance band, I love doing resistance band exercises on the balance foam, working on that core stability. My handy dandy 2-pound ball, if you saw my YouTube video on seated core activities, you know, this is like my best friend, my 2-pound ball. I have clients stand on the foam with a 2-pound ball, do ball circles, you know, the small ball circles for a small balance challenge, big ball circles for a big balance challenge. I have them, you know, do standing wood chops, side to side. I also have them do like the alphabet. So they could do the alphabet in the air, A, and then B. With a 2-pound ball, you'd be surprised the upper body workout that this can give somebody. And I like it because it's functional. It's all in all different planes of motion. And then you can always make it a cognitive challenge. You can ask them to spell a word, or you can tell them a word at the beginning of the session and ask them to spell it with a ball at the end of the session. You know, tell them later, I want you to remember the word boy. And then midway through the session, say, okay, what is that word I told you? And stand on the foam, and I want you to spell it with the ball. So you can pull in cognitive activities as well. So that is my advice on the Airex balance foam, different ideas and activities you can do with it. I really like this piece of equipment. Like I said, I don't bother with the cheaper versions. Too bad Airex isn't paying me. They're not, but I don't bother with the cheaper versions because I really find that this is superior to the other foams you're going to get on Amazon and different marketplaces like that. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can get other tips and tricks on working with seniors, and we'll see you next time.